one pews, ladies, which they were then in the back of the set, outside, and they were discussing things, and we were usually, the parishioners came up the front with talk with your friends and at fellowship. So through Maria, we asked if Father could bless our home. So after Maria came back in about a week, and she said, Father thought we should have some family dedication prayers, and she should help us, which happened. So after the time came, we didn't set any date for it. We let that set up to him whenever he's got time. So just about a week before the 8th of December 1962, he notified us that this is the day when we have our home and family dedication. So Father came to us on that day, and we were surprised. He brought a big MTA picture along. We had pictures from the Blessed Mother, but he brought the Schoenstatt MTA picture along. Because at that time, we knew very little about Schoenstatt, and much less that he was the founder of Schoenstatt. So we had our dedication, and after a while, it has all to do with the shrines here. And after a while, we had him as a guest for a dinner. And this was the time when we had discussions of different topics. And actually, this is the only time when we were with Father, with him person, together at one place. And so he was very interested in our families, because my families were still in Germany, all of them, and Anna's families were in Illinois. So we had no parents or grandparents here. So Father was with us then, and at that time, in our prayers, we said our prayers for all together, and then individual, Father and the kids. And then our prayer, which we said, was, Mach unser Haus und Heim immer mehr zu einem Heiligtum, which means, make our house and home ever more to a shrine. And we thought this at that time, this was our home shrine dedication, which did not exist anymore. But from that existed yet. But from that time on, we saw Father a lot. We could visit Father almost any time without any reservations, and we visited Father a lot in his office. And we also had a couples group already was created, and from the 7 couples which we had there, 4 of them did not even have an MPA picture in a house. So we discussed it also with Maria Clymer. She was at the meeting, and actually she told Father, she said, not just an MPA picture for those people, but it should be in a shrine form. It should be the shrine and the Blessed Mother, not just one. So Maria asked me, what could you do? And I had the opportunity on my shop. Then I made little shrines about, I would say about 10 inches high. And they were supposed to be given to these people by Father and explain to us our next meeting, because he used to come to our couple meetings. He was supposed to explain what the connections are with the picture and the shrine. And the evening when that was supposed to happen, you tell what happened.
It was not very funny what happened. I called up Father's office to find out if he was going to be at our house that night. But I called up once more and asked Father, could he come in the evening? He said, okay. And Father stopped for a moment. He didn't say anything. He just took a deep breath, and I was anxious. What is he going to tell me? Because he stopped suddenly. Then he asked, he says, can the child keep a secret? He always called me the child. He never called me Anna. So I said, if Father wants me to keep a secret, yes, I can keep a secret. He said, he's not going to come to our meeting that night. He has received a telegram from Rome that he's going to go back, and that was it. And you can all imagine how I felt. I started crying, and Father left, and no more words were spoken. So when Andy came home, he said, "Why are you crying? What did the children do today again?" I said, "The children didn't do anything." But I was told by Father, it's a secret, so I could not tell him why I was crying. But no sooner, Maria again, she called Andy at his work at Marquette University. Could he bring home some boxes? Because Father has to move out of his office. His room has to be moved out. So then he knew, and he said, "Now I know why Anna is crying."
So at the time was too late for getting boxes. So I had at that time a car with a big trunk. So I went down his office and moved his office from the office to the movement house basement. And every so often he was out praying rosary, and every so often he came in and checked on us. And there was a young man helping there who was supposed to be from Germany. And Father asked him, "Which book would you like to have?" And the the gentleman pointed to a book, and Father gave it to him. And he said, "Andy, would you like to have a book?" I said, "No, because I won't read it anyway. I won't get to it." So which I should have. No. And later on I would have. So these are the experience. Okay, then there's two experiences which we had in Father's office, which Anna would like to tell you, and then we'll come to your the pictures.
Yes. When we went visiting Father, we never called him up. We just went there and we were always welcomed by him. He didn't give us the feeling that we were intruding on him. He was always waiting, not waiting, but he was ready for us. And we also took our third child, his name was Peter, we took him along with us when we went to visit Father. And as we walked into Father's office, Father had a big apple there on his desk. And the little Peter was about 2 years old. He looked at that apple from all sides, and Father saw that in his eye. He said, "Peter, would you like to have that apple?" And Peter said, "Yes." And Father gave it to him. Of course, he was so little, he ate that apple. It was a big apple, and he could not chew the peels of the apple. So he chewed as much as he could, and the rest he took out of his mouth and took it there. Father sat there holding his hands open. And little Peter put all that in his hands. And we told Andy and I said, "Peter, you don't do that. Bring it to Mama and Papa." And Father said, "This is okay. He can do it as long as he wants to." So only a father can do that. And that was Father for us.
Also when I mentioned about those bigger shrines, when I moved Father, because that evening he was supposed to come out to our house and explain what so I asked him, "What should we do now with those pictures which I made?" And he said, "You have to see to it yourself now what you explain what the connections are with those shrines. So then, after Father left, in spring of 1966, at our couples meeting, because at that time Schoenstatt was not known, and we did in Milwaukee, and we thought, what could we do? So it was suggested by the couples that we should make those same shrines, but in this form, short form, so we could put them in the cars and people would ask them, what is this? So in May 1966, we made 18 little shrines with magnets, because at that time the cars had metals there, so with magnets. And this was the beginning. But then in fall, in September, we visited, as soon as Father went back to Germany, because my parents, I went away from them in 1948, so I didn't see them. And so as soon as Father left to Germany, we said, now we are going to see Schoenstatt, the layout, because they always told us about the hills and the valleys and where the original shrine is. We always wanted to see this. So we visited Father, and we took 81 little shrines along for his birthday. So we came to Germany late in the evening because we got lost on the way there. So next morning, we visited Father. Because here in Milwaukee, we just went there, knocked on the door, and if you heard Aves, we got in. So we thought it was the same. So we went there, and the sister came to the door, and she said, we'd like to see Father. Oh, do you have an appointment? No. I said, we came so far, and she said, I'm sorry, but you cannot see Father. And the office of Fathers was only a couple of doors down. So he said, just let the horns come in. Just let them come in. So we were right away then, there was a visiting room next to his office, right across. So he ordered a bottle of wine. I told the sister to bring a bottle of wine and cookies and juices for the kids. So we went into that room, and I don't know how long we stayed there for quite a while. So, what's so interesting, he asked them, in Milwaukee, how is that parishioner? How is that person? How is that lady? How is that man? How are they doing? And we thought we were parishioners, but we didn't even know. So he knew of every individual then acting quietly. It was totally. And then at the same time, the next day, there were 300 ladies for a retreat there. And a leader came to Anna and asked, Anna, would you like to join us for this talk? Father gave the talk. Would you like to join us? And I said, yes. And Father looked at me and he said, I invite you to come. And I thought to myself, why should I? It was goofy, but why? So I went along anyway. Next morning, and as Father introduced, introduced when he started his talk. Oh, he welcomed. That's right. He welcomed all the people, and he said, and that one man in the back. Can you imagine all the ladies turned around to him and I didn't like it. But this was Father. So now about those 81 little shrines which he gave Father that day. The next morning we had a friend we told her that Father has some shrine, she should go there and get some. Father, she went there, there was not a single one left. But he did this also in Milwaukee. You could not go with his office without getting a gift. Nobody ever did. If you went to Father's office, you got a present. And now then, from there on, when we came back from there on, this is when the shrine giving started. Because we really thought that by having those little shrines are made for cars. Now we made over 12,000 now. But if only some of them would come to the card for the purpose of, I would be really happy. So if you get a shrine, use it in a car.
Thank you very much.